signed up for it, thought, okay, if there's something I can do, offer my body to science to help out, I do it. And I trust science. And what is the, you know, the greatest achievement of science with medicine? It's vaccinations. And I said, okay, well, let's jump into that. My kids were saying, no, don't do it. But I said, this is something I got to do. If it helps me get to seeing my kids a little earlier than later, I thought that was a good place to start. And geez, it's been almost a year since I've seen them. First dose, I felt rather, I guess I had a little bit of a headache. And then I was sort of, I had some upset stomach, and then it was fine the next day. And 28 days later, I got the second shot, and no upset stomach and no headache. But the next day I felt really tired, like, like I hadn't slept in a day or two. So took a nap. About 3 hours later, I woke up and I was fine. Yeah. I mean, imagine, the placebo effect, right? Is it nerves, right? Did I sort of feel funny because of what, going down there, the stress of it, and then coming back? And so, yes, you just don't know. I come from my parents were very older, and my grandmother was nearly, I think, 18 in Scotland, up in Glasgow. And she was a nurse attending to sick people during the Spanish flu. They're waiting to find out if I happen to get sick. If I get sick, I report back to them. And then they would monitor. I guess they put something on your arm and they monitor you for to see how it goes. And they still don't know whether you've got it or not, gotten the vaccination. And then sometime in January, they'll tell me that whether I got it or not. And I believe they're offering to give me the vaccine if I did not get it. I felt like I was going onto a movie set. It's sort of, you watch these things on TV, and it's, they're crazy laboratories, something funny's going on in the laboratory, those, meddling kids down, so, it felt very much like a hospital. So when I went in, it was, they were very careful to screen me before I went in to make sure I didn't have COVID or I wasn't running a fever. They talked to me extensively to make sure I understood what I was doing. And then they brought me and took blood and then gave me the injection. And they said, take a Tylenol, you might get a headache. What am I doing, right? So this could hurt me. But the potential, I think, to help, it's not many times in your life that you're able to help millions of people and touch them. And whether you take the trial or not, or whether you get the vaccine or not, but to be able to make that impact in our lives is really, that means a lot to me. I've been helped a lot in my life by, we stand on the shoulders of a lot of people, all our ancestors and everything, and what they've done. So I feel that's really important for us to do our part. It's a war. You got to win it. You got to be all in on it. And we don't do it by pieces. We all, we attack the thing that's attacking us the best way we can. And then vaccinations, I think, is the way to go. I would say it was even less than the flu shot, to be quite honest. The flu shot I've had, where you run sort of a fever or you don't feel well. No reaction to it. There is one that they do make you sit for 15 minutes after you get the injection. So that was different. I think the encouragement needs to come from within themselves, that they are brave enough to fight this thing. It's a war, and it's won by, everybody coming together to fight this thing. So we have to do it for each other. That's what this is about. So we help each other as best we can. I think it's important for everybody to do this. This is really the only way we claw our way out of this is by getting to a point where we all don't get sick and we have to, probably still wear masks to some degree. But we all help each other by getting, holding hands, and, this is the thing to do. Vaccinations are good. I trust science. The greatest achievement of medicine is vaccinations. And this is this is the right thing to do. It makes sense to me. Much like a boat, it's women and children first, and elderly as well. So, getting to our most vulnerable in the state as well as around the nation and the world is really important. And they're so they can. A lot of people are just sitting in these assisted facilities, and they don't understand why they can't see their loved ones. And it's so important for them to get the vaccine first, and as well as our kids and most vulnerable, for sure. Absolutely, I think that's the way to go. I think that the more we can help our medical system and get them the relief they need, which is just a break. And if people can get a vaccination, and that'll give them a break later on down the road, hopefully. So absolutely, they get vaccinated first, take care of our frontline workers. And yeah, that makes sense to me. I wondered that myself. I thought maybe being the example and saying, hey, I'm going out there, and I don't, beat around the bush and say, I went to go get the vaccination trial and see what happens. And I thought maybe someone else might, say, hey, where did you get it? Give me the phone number. I'll go do it. But, that hasn't happened. It's not my duty to sell it to people and like, hey, you should go too. But I think you should. If you want to do it, you should do it. Absolutely. That's how these medical pills, all these things that we receive, that we take orally or are injected, are done through volunteers that volunteer their body to help out. And that's the only way science progresses. It's a scientific study. So it's, there's the scientific things that they do to make it a study, and double blind, and they don't know whether I'm getting it or I don't know whether I'm getting it. So the placebo effect. And it doesn't, and there's a part of this that I wonder about is, does it make me more brave when now that I have I maybe have the vaccine? Does that change how I feel about wearing a mask? Or and I was like, well, I think I still need to wear a mask, because if I get sick and I don't know whether I'm vaccinated or not, I don't want to get anybody else sick. And the potential is still there for spreading it, even if you do get vaccinated. I know they're different the way that they're telling our immune systems that there's a potential to try and build immunity. But I would say, it sounds like it's similar it's similar biotechnology, and sounds safe. It sounds very safe and effective. So